Hello students and welcome to week 3. I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible in this video, but there is quite a bit to cover, but I want to provide you an overview for the week. I want to start with the group assignments because it's important that we get going on that as soon as possible. I'm hoping that everyone can try to make it to our Tuesday night session because I'm going to give you quite a bit of time to work in your groups that evening. So if you can't attend, please reach out to your group members and let them know. But if you can, please be there. So this group assignment, you're going to look at the domain that you signed up for, and you're going to look for a progression of standards that's in that domain, or excuse me, a focus of a topic to see how that topic progresses in that domain. So it could be something around number sense, and maybe it's how fractions develop. Maybe in 2nd grade, they start to understand this. And then in 3rd grade, they start to do some adding and subtracting. And then in 4th grade, we see more application. So you're going to take your domain and look at some topic that kind of continues to develop throughout that strand or that topic area. What you're going to do is use this template to do your work. And this template will pretty much help us describe what will go in here. So this is kind of your title page that you can use. Now, these 2 pages here are examples. You don't have to use this, but this is an example of what this might look like. So if you did this progression, say that yours was operations and algebraic thinking, expressions, equations, and algebra. So you as a group would come and kind of share what the development of this grade or of this topic is through the different grade levels. Then what would happen is if you're in a group of 3, each of you could take a grade level. And so you would then share 3 different grade levels in more detail. So let's say that I'm in a group with Hope and Sarah. So maybe I would take 2nd grade, Hope would take 3rd grade, and Sarah would take 4th grade. So what would that mean? Well, for each of us, we would complete one of these slides where we talk about the standard, and we'll give the specific standard here, okay? And then we'll kind of go into the goal of our lesson or our topic, what essential question we might ask. We had some practice with this last week with our learning maps and that week 1 analysis. What prior knowledge students would need, misconceptions, and what technology connection you could help students use. Please make sure that the technology connection that you link is directly related to your standard. Don't just say students are going to go to Math Playground. Provide the link that takes us specifically to the activity that addresses that algebra and operations. So then you're going to talk about the conceptual knowledge, right? So think of that CRA model. How are you going to give them the real world examples? Can you use manipulatives? What is that conceptual piece? And then how will you end up procedurally? What are you expecting students to do? And again, stay laser focused on that standard. Next, you're going to be expected to address one of the big 5 pedagogies from Teaching Outside the Box textbook. And you should be aware of these by now. Things such as math centers, counting collections, problem-based learning. Understand those so that you're using them in the right way, and then identify one of those. Then you're going to explain an activity that students will do. Again, this activity should be directly aligned to your conceptual knowledge, your procedural fluency, the standard, and the technology connection. What is a fun activity students will do that can meet these needs? You're going to talk about the academic language that students will need to address, and then you're going to model and then talk about assessment. How are you going to know if students learned what you wanted to out of this activity? And this one is an example of a Flipgrid, which is a great way to use video to have students share their thinking. Students can draw pictures. So really think of UDL and ways of students sharing their learning other than just like an exit slip or a test. And then the next slide would be modeling multiplication. So give some pictures, or could be a screenshot of the math manipulative or of the online computer game, something that just gives us a visual of what supports this activity might add. So if I go back to my original example, where if I was in a group of 3 and somebody had first grade, somebody had second grade, somebody had third grade, I think I said Hope and Sarah, maybe this would be me for first. So I would create this and this for first grade. And then Hope would create this and this for second grade. And then Sarah would complete this and this for third grade. So if you have 3 different group members, you are creating 3 different informational slides and picture slides relating to that progression of learning. And you'll see here that we provide you these blank slides. So Hope, this would be me. And then Hope would jump down here and do second grade. And then Sarah could jump in here and do third. And then if you have a 4th person, you can just copy and paste. And it is expected that you have at least 4 references. You can bring from teaching outside of the box. You can bring it from inside our coursework on ideas for technology integration and so on. So that's the first group project. And again, it's around a particular strand that you have signed up for. And I put your groups here so you can click on those groups to see which group you're in. So now that you're in your groups and you know that strand or what standard you're focusing on, let's jump into the only discussion for the week. And we're going to actually have you warm up for your group project a little bit by completing this discussion. And when you warm up for this group project, you're going to do a discussion board post where you're going to go to this San Francisco Unified School District curriculum and unit plans and think about what that standard or that strand or that group of that progression of learning that you chose as your group, and you're going to use that same one here. So I can pick, let's say I was first grade, I think. So I might start with first grade, and then you'll notice here that I can click on where I'll look for my topic that my group is within. Maybe we're focusing on organizing data or something. So look for your big topic, and then you're really going to want to come in here and really start exploring these resources. Now, the great part about doing this as a discussion board post is that you can use resources and ideas that you glean from reading these materials and use them in those slides for your group projects, okay? So go through these and really spend some time. There's a series of lessons. Each lesson has different student activities. They have kind of black line like tasks that students engage in. Here's some technology over here, seesaw doubles. Looks like a lot of seesaw activities, which are fun. So you'll notice that there's tasks and technology you can do, and I think you're going to get a lot of great ideas. So you're going to want to explore multiple grade levels. If you're in a group that's focusing on grades 2, 3, and 4, I would focus here on grades 2, 3, and 4. And you're basically just going to talk about your area of focus, what you see as learning progression, what you saw in the San Francisco Unified School District. What kind of activities did they do? How did those activities grow? What are some examples of technology that supported that? But really focusing in on this last sentence here. Articulate how knowing the standards are developed across the grade span can support you in designing instruction. So that's your discussion board post for the week. Okay, so we have a group project, your discussion board post, and the last assignment I think is one of the most fun assignments because you get to be very creative. There's a lot of math videos out there on the internet that teach students how to do math. And I used to use videos a lot in my classroom. I would have videos at a center, a station, and then a lot of times I would send videos home for students to watch. And so what you're going to get to do is find something, maybe an online manipulative, maybe a series of slides, maybe like one of that balance scale problem like we did last week in our live session, that you're going to create a video for the class. It's not for the video is for students. So remember, please, students are your audience. And this is a video that you might give your students to work on independently. And let me tell you a little hint about why I like these kind of videos and tasks. When I used to do them in my class, I would set them up in a way where I'd say, okay, now I want you to set up the problem, and I want you to pause the video and have Miss Garcia check how you set up the problem before you move on. And so what would happen when I would do that is students that really understood it would be like, oh, okay, here I set up the problem. Ms. Garcia, can you come check my work? And I check it, and then they continue the video. And then other students that need a little more help, I could stop and help them. And the other students might have been kind of lost. So they would like rewind the video and then watch it again. So by having this kind of structured instructional video really helped me differentiate and let my students work through that math task at their own pace. So you're going to get to create a video. I'm going to talk about this video a little bit in our live session, give you some more details, but it's fun. Be creative and have a good time with it. So that is it for week 3. I get together with your groups, get that domain, figure out kind of what standard or what big standard you're going to focus on. Then start looking in that San Francisco Unified School District resources for that discussion board post and to help contribute to your group project. Make sure you join us Tuesday night so you can participate with your group members and start working and planning. And I think you'll have to probably meet one more time together at the end of the week before submitting, but maybe not. And then you'll get to create that fun screencast. So I hope you all have a fabulous week. Please reach out with any questions or concerns. Thank you.